Love the music. Never gets old. How are we doing, YouTube? How are we doing, Tyler and Adam? Drew Franklin here. Another KSR Happy Hour presented by Country Boy Brewing. And just like last week, I am starting the show out of breath because I ran to get a beer and came back right as we were starting. So forgive me as I'm gasping for wind here. I am that out of shape that I get winded going to get my 4 p.m. beer, but it's good to be here with you all talking a little more sports. It's been down around KSR headquarters lately, but Tyler, this is what we need to get us back on track. Our good friends from Country Boy, we got us hooked up. Be sure to check them out on Chair Avenue in Lexington, over here at the Midland Winchester intersection in Lexington, New Pickleball Place, or in Georgetown, or right now on YouTube. What's up, Tyler?
Not much. I need a beer. It's been a long week. It's been another weird week. I thought this was supposed to be the fun week. You know, we were looking, Michigan State wasn't supposed to be that good. We got Vandy this weekend, but here we are. The comments section is giving us grief for not being on time. So as Drew said, he's to blame for that.
That's me. I was actually the first to log on, but you all were just looking at an empty chair while I was downstairs.
True that. It's also already rolling about Pope's press conference, so I know we'll get to that. But first, how are you, Adam Luckett?
It's been a bad week. What happened? What's going on?
Football's the happy thing right now, right?
Mark Stoops has won 3 games in a row. Why's everyone upset?
He's undefeated in November.
Yeah.
Just like we all expected, it's football time in the Bluegrass on November 20th after 2 marquee basketball games. We were heading straight for this a month ago.
Joe Burrow's going to play, maybe? I know that's why Luckett's happy.
That's why you're smiling.
It's like a nervous smile.
Nothing could go wrong, right?
Yeah, just don't get hurt, please. I love God.
I feel that way about my Bills tonight. Big game facing Davis Mills. And then we got your Bengals next week.
Your Bills? Are we just giving up on our Titans? I mean, come on. We got the Seahawks.
They gave up on us. Have you seen the product they trot out? They gave up, not me. But let's talk about our own problems in-house here around the University from Kentucky basketball program. I see on the rundown we're moving on from Michigan State. Do we want to address it a little bit? Talk a little ball? We got Steven behind the scenes who was there. I know he's hiding. We might bring him on, but he also deserves to hide. He was up there part of the sadness in Madison Square Garden. Tyler, it's now been a couple days later. Where is your mentality? Before we get to the Pope press conference, just on what we already from Tuesday, not what's new today.
It still doesn't feel real. Like I remember after the game, we were waiting for Pope to come out for 50 minutes, by the way. And I felt like I was just staring at my computer screen, like not really knowing what to do or write. I mean, part of that was usually because Pope comes out quicker. And so that whole process happened sooner. But I had to go into the On3 headquarters today. And that's all anybody was talking to me about. Like, what's wrong with Kentucky basketball? You know, because they were used to hearing all the hype the preseason. I mean, a couple guys who I hadn't seen in a while, they were like, the last time we talked to you, you guys had just beaten Purdue. What is wrong? So I hate that Kentucky basketball being bad as a talking point on November 20th. It's just, I don't know, man. They looked just such a mess. And it has to be, I know Pope is going to downplay it as much as he wants, that there are no off-court issues, that the locker room is great and the team chemistry is wonderful and beautiful. But even if it just has to be part of it, because they wouldn't look that terrible otherwise. I mean, you could take all of those people, you know, all those players, and they're talented, and you put them on the floor together and they play that badly. Something must be happening outside of the basketball.
There's something going on for sure. We don't know what it is, but Adam Luckett, you know, you've been talking football just on this YouTube a bit ago. You know a little bit of basketball, though. What do you think just the basketball-related problems are to where you were down 20 against Louisville, made that somewhat respectable for box score readers, but then down 24 with 2 minutes left in the Champions Classic earlier this week?
Yeah, to Tyler's point, it doesn't pass the smell test. I mean, like, let's just be honest here. Now, with that said, what's Pope going to do? Yeah. Guys hate each other's guts. I don't.
That's a good point. Yeah.
We're gonna have to go we're gonna have to cancel these games next week. We're gonna have to go have a retreat at the lake, try to have some team bonding. To me, Drew, I just don't know how you don't have this takeaway. He built an SEC team that he does not know how to. That he seems to not know how to coach. he built the team to almost kind of play like Michigan State.
Yep.
They had no idea how to do that. So that's my concern. You hear a lot of people talk about, oh, he built this roster with analytics, or he valued this, he valued that. To me, he reacted to the league last year. We have to get stronger, more physical, and I need guys with experience. So what he went out and did was got guys with experience in the league. And it's just not working. And they have a target on their back, I think, because of the payroll stories.
Yep.
They are not playing like a team that has embraced that one way or the other. And they look like a team of misfit parts. They're disjointed. I don't even know what their identity is supposed to be. I don't think they know.
Pope has admitted that he doesn't know.
So it's obvious at this point that he had a plan, and that plan is donezo. So do we even have concepts of a plan moving forward? Like, where are they at and where are they going? And then I also wonder, like, well, why did you schedule this tough then? Like, maybe like they could honestly use a couple more bye games, like if we're being honest, to kind of figure stuff out. So they've got like a couple weeks here. It's highly concerning. He hasn't figured out the lineups. If you're going to play 10, 11 guys, you probably need to play like with some type of tempo or spacing or pressing, or you've got to do something where you've got to really ratchet up, I think, the energy level of your team, but they're not really playing that way. You got all these guys to be a good defensive team, but your defensive strategy is still kind of the same. Feels like the guys don't know what they're doing. They look poorly coached.
And that's hard to hear too.
Part of the sell with Pope was like, all right, he knows how to build modern rosters, and he understands the modern game from a coaching standpoint. We're just not seeing that through 2 games. And then go back to the Georgetown game. It's just they've played an Alabama prototype in Louisville, and then they've played 2 SEC teams in Georgetown and Michigan State. So the team he built to like win games like that, not only are they losing, they're just like they're not even close. And it's highly, highly concerning.
Yeah, you mentioned how he built this to be an SEC team. And I love Mo Diabate, but if you want 33s a game and to play 5 out, I don't know. Needs the roster is built, especially with him specifically. Garrison, I know he likes to take 1 or 2 a game. I'm worried that Pope built a team to shoot with no shooters. Trent Noah, even if he starts making them, I don't know if he can stay on the court the way he looked against a physical team like Michigan State. But Tyler, we got Loyola coming up. They'll probably beat them by 40, and it'll be sunshine and roses for a few days. Tennessee Tech the night before Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But then another test, North Carolina. What happens if the North Carolina game is just as bad as the other 2 meaningful games?
I kind of hate where we are because while it's good for the team that they have 2 relatively easy games, I don't think it's going to move the needle for the fan base at all until the North Carolina game. Like, unless Kentucky goes out and beats both of these teams by 40, I mean, sure, it's going to be nice, but is it really going to make anybody feel better? Because I looked up these teams. I think they're both around 300 in KenPom. Mm-hmm. I just, outside of obviously losing or looking bad, I don't think you can take anything away from the next 2 games. So that kind of stinks. And then you get North Carolina coming to town. At least that one's at Rupp. I'm worried about that game, not only because of what we saw versus Michigan State and Louisville, but because there's the Caleb Wilson angle. Mm-hmm. You know, he picked UNC over UK. You've got this lingering thing with the fan base, worries about Pope. He hasn't gotten a 2026 commitment yet. The early signing period just ended. It's like all the little worries that we could have had about Mark Pope feel like they've just been put in the spotlight the past 2 weeks. And it really, really stinks. And we'll get to Pope in his press conference, but it just feels like we're hearing a lot of language, a lot of flowery, beautiful dancing around the elephant in the room language. And it's just a weird spot to be in. Like, I could not have imagined this a month ago. You know, is Purdue that bad that Kentucky beat them that, soundly in the exhibition? Or did something happen versus Georgetown? This team got its first, taste of adversity. They lost. Did that just kind of knock things off of, the axis a little bit? I don't know. I feel like I've got too many questions 5 games in. I hate that.
Yeah, it's one thing to go 0-2. It's another thing to do what they've done. Get destroyed. Your star player has been absent. The starting center that a lot of people didn't even necessarily want to be on the team this year has gone the wrong direction. The point guard who's supposed to bring it all together is injured. We all know the story. We talk about this ad nauseum. I just can't believe we're at this point on November 20th when after that Purdue game, I mean, my predictions are going to be a meme. I assume your all's predictions are going to be a meme. I think I had them winning the non-conference. Part of that's on Steven for interviewing me after the Purdue game. I probably wouldn't have done that the day before, but just shocked where we are right now. And then today we'll get right to it. Pope had a chance to make it a little better. I know he can't win anyone over just in a press conference, but he didn't do himself any favors either today, Tyler. He continues to downplay the Louisville thing and act like fans are crazy for latching onto it. When he started the fire and walked away from it, he's wondering why we're worried about the fire. I mean, he's downplaying, but it's like you're the one that made the big deal out of it. Fans aren't crazy for reacting the way they are. This is exactly what you should have known would happen.
I used to think, and I still want to think this, that he understood this fan base better than anybody because he had played for them. He is a fan himself. I thought that he had a true pulse of the fan base when it comes to knowing that Kentucky fans are obsessive. They're going to obsess over things. And that is in a bad sense too, because when you give them a little bit of a nugget, there was something that happened in the Louisville locker room before the game. You have to know that they're going to freak out about that. It's Louisville. And even if it wasn't Louisville, if it was just some random like Loyola, Maryland, they would still freak about it then too, because that's who we are and that's what we do. And for him to kind of make it like a joke, like, oh, I'm like Taylor Swift. I'm just dropping, references here and there and you all get to figure it out. I mean, that's what people are trying to do. And now he seems like he's just pretending it wasn't a big deal at all. It's very strange. I don't understand it. I hope that Pope still understands this fan base. Maybe he does better now, but it's just been a weird week. I don't know. And like, I've got friends who, yes, they're Kentucky fans, but they're not obsessed like we are. I haven't heard from them in a while and they're texting me. They're like, what are these rumors? Somebody, fake Barney, for instance, texted me. He's like, I've got North Carolina fans talking trash about what happened in Kentucky's locker room before the Louisville game. Like, how did we get here? So, and with Pope, I feel like we're getting to this weird stage where the things that we really loved about him last year, how we would use all the superlatives, beautiful, special, unique, magnificent, whatever. He's just using it to kind of dance around the topic when he could just come out and put it all to rest, but he's not. It's odd.
Especially with the speculation going on that's way out of hand. I mean, I have heard that every player has fought another player. There are so many combinations I've heard of
love
players
triangles.
fighting. What? If, Pope has to know that his players are this is being spread about them. All of it can't be true. So if nothing else, defend your guys because it's getting ugly on the internet. And most of it, if not all of it, is just complete make-believe. Luckett, he speaks again. I guess he'll talk after the Loyola game. It won't get any better there. I mean, is this just our fans? We're Kentucky. We don't turn this off. When these coaches, when they look up and say, wow, we had Go Big Blue chants at, some random Tuesday night in Starkville, or wow, we were 90% of the crowd at the NCAA tournament. They care so much. We can't act negative when it's negative. You can't get on fans for caring too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we care when it's positive. Mm-hmm. We care when it's negative. Don't judge us if we're overreacting to this and then praise us because we care too much when it's positive. So do you think that this will just continue to linger? Do we have another week of this, I guess is my point?
Yeah, that's part of the deal. I think a lot of it will linger until they beat somebody. I think Kentucky fans want to see Mark Pope act like the Kentucky coach. He's not acting like a Kentucky basketball head coach. Like, I actually think like wearing your emotions on your sleeve and being upset after the loss is fine. But like the Michigan State, like that just was not a good look. Like the team is reeling. Like you've got to, like this is a long season. You can't.
Yeah. We're 5
like,
games in.
You need to come out with some confidence and I think his messaging was right. Just how you deliver it was, I don't think that's the way to deliver it. Like we're not doing a good job right now, but we're going to figure it out. Like the way he said it, like you don't believe that. He's just like a guy just, talking like he just got broken up with by his girlfriend.
Kentucky fans are under the table scared, and they look, and Pope's under the table scared with us.
He's even more scared.
Right. Right. Yeah. Right. So they need he's the leader of this whole tribe. They need him it doesn't feel like he's acting like the leader of the tribe right now. And that's what Kentucky fans, I think, really deep down want, because they want to get behind him. They want to support him, but it's just like, what is this? And then to me, the issue is like, it just keeps going. Like even today's press conference was a little like, what is he doing? What is he saying? Like, I'm sick of doing riddles. Like enough with the riddles. Like, let's stop with the riddles. If I want to do a riddle, I'll do a crossword puzzle. I don't want to sit down and listen to a press conference and do a riddle. And so, yeah, I think they need him he's not acting like a Kentucky coach. I don't really know how else to say it other than that. He needs to show some confidence. He's not showing confidence, and his team is playing like that.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, wow, I'm the Kentucky coach.
Yeah. Are they seeing that, his behavior, and just reacting to that? Like, I wonder, I don't know how much these guys are really online, but if they were, what they would think if they saw the clip of Mark Pope walking into Madison Square Garden like he was, walking down death row, or the clip of him talking to Jeff Goodman and never looking up from the floor. I mean, if you're a player, like, how would you react to that? I mean, on one hand, sure, I'm glad coach is upset about the loss, but that, like you said, Adam, that's supposed to be the guy in charge. That's supposed to be the leader.
His press conference he had after the Michigan State is a press conference after you lose a just dreadful tournament game, or you lost a game where you're about to get fired. That was the energy of that press conference. This is game 3, 4, 5, whatever it was, a year or two. That's just, you can't have a press conference like that. To me, that's more concerning than the whole, whatever the little thing was, which was weird on top of it. You cannot have, it's November. It's not, we were 2 weeks from Thanksgiving. Right? I haven't even put the damn Christmas lights up, and this is where we're at. It's highly, highly concerning. And it just feels like little red flags are popping up everywhere. And at this point, it doesn't feel like a coincidence that they're all popping up, and they're getting harder to explain away. Like the recruiting stuff is obviously, you can talk about. Then you go back to the portal and just, it makes you wonder, like, okay, let's rewind the clock. Why they miss on this guy, and then what happened there? It's concerning.
Lack of shooting. I mean, Trent Noah was supposed to have taken this huge step forward, and I know he got hurt, but we haven't really seen that. Like, he's not that, sharpshooter that we heard about all off season. Cam Williams is doing better, but he's not that consistent 3-point threat that we thought he would be. I just wonder how different this team would be. I know they would be a little better, but if Jalen Lowe was on the floor. And I guess we've got to bring up, we got a Jalen Lowe update today, and it wasn't as bad as I thought. I mean, I know it felt like he was either going to get surgery or he was going to try and rehab and play through the pain. It sounds like he's going to try and rehab and play through the pain to me. I mean, Pope said they're just going to see what it's like on a day-to-day basis, try to get him stable enough to give it another go and go from there. So at least that's promising that, because Pope could have said, he's decided, he and his family have decided, and his agents, to have surgery, but I guess that's off the table for now.
Yeah, I was ready to hear something long-term. I guess day-to-day is better than he's out for the year. Still not getting a lot there. Lucky you mentioned, before we go on with Lowe, we're not done with this, but I just looked at the clock. We got bills to pay. Lucky. How you going to power those Christmas lights? Little LG&E KU when you put those up eventually?
Something
Or
like
maybe
that, yeah.
maybe we can start turning on the lights in Rep Arena with our shooters. LG,
Cutter-
Hey.
KU.
If Cutter Bowley keeps up this completion percentage, I won't need energy. He'll just power the whole state at this point with all
Tyler,
these
you
completions.
all have ESPN now. You'll need power for that. I mean, we got all kinds of reasons we need power.
Shout out to YouTube TV and ESPN. That's one less thing I have to worry about.
Well, if you haven't already done it, update your phone number in the LG&E and KU mobile app or in my account. If the power goes out, you'll get play-by-play text 454-358 with outage updates, safety information, and time estimates for power restoration. If you can't text, no problem. They'll call your landline on your account with the same updates when it goes dark. That's KU and LG&E. Big fans of them for sponsoring our show here. Sorry for the awkward transition there, but I realized we were 20 minutes in. You get sad and time just starts flying by, you know? I mean, usually I'm excited for the happy hour. A couple weeks ago, we had that one where I don't even think we mentioned sports. And here we're just, this part of what we're talking about, this lingering sadness with basketball still blows my mind. And here we are, not ruining our happy hour because it needs to be talked about, but it's just sad around here. Do any of you, I'm back on the low thing, I'm of the belief he's out for the year. That's not with any intel. I'm just laying down what he's probably looking at his table. And for me, that's the decision I would make. Anyone confident that we'll see him soon? Anybody want to get the BBN excited? Because I do not have that excitement.
From what I understand about his injury and shoulder dislocations, it's like his shoulder could pop out of place doing the most random thing. Like he could just have a random fall under the basket and it could pop out of place. It just happens easily. So I almost wonder if they're going to give it one more try. And then once it does that, they get the surgery. I mean, if it were me, I would go ahead and get the surgery. I don't know how long the recovery timeline is. Hope you can get back in February or March in time for a run. But he also has 2 more years of eligibility. So I don't know. To me, the easy answer would be go ahead, get the surgery, rehab, etc. But Pope made it seem like he's going to give it a go. But how much do we read into those updates? I'm not sure. Adam, what do you think?
Yeah, is it like a Lamont Butler situation where they just want to give him like 3 to 4 weeks off and then see before making a call? Because if the surgery is, I guess it's all complicated. Because if the surgery is, it depends on the recovery timeline. If it's like where you're going to be out for the year, but you can maybe play for it through it, maybe you wait. But I don't know. It seems like up in the air based off the body language. And some of the answers we're getting right now.
And nobody likes to talk money, but he could save his eligibility and double dip on this. I know that's
right.
We're talking about that as fans, but Jalen Lowe's got to look out for Jalen Lowe at the end of the day. He's not projected to be a lottery pick and make millions and millions and millions of dollars. If he were able to, get an extra year and get a little extra NIL, that's something he seriously has to consider, whether we like to hear it or not.
I mean, another reason I think he may be deciding to give it a go is because I feel like if it was surgery, we would have heard by now. It felt like we were going to get an update before the Michigan State game, or I guess it was whenever it happened Friday, it felt like we were going to get an update, but we didn't. So, and I don't know how many second or third opinions, fourth or fifth or sixth opinions that they could need. So I don't know. What is the cutoff for red shirts, like a medical red shirt? Is it 7 games?
Basketball, I think it's if you play. It's not like football.
Okay.
Football, you get 4 games. Basketball is much shorter. It might be.
I didn't know if they gave a percentage or whatnot, but he could get a medical red shirt if it's so many games.
Yeah,
he's certainly good on that. He's barely played if he were to not give it a go.
Right. So I mean, maybe that's another thing. He just tries to rehab it and play. And if you have that number in mind with the medical red shirt, it's still hurting, just decide to do a medical red shirt.
I will say Kentucky needs to give him a reason to play. I mean, if he looks up 3 weeks from now and it is like this, then I wouldn't play either. Even if,
Could you blame him?
if you want to lead a national championship team, I would need my teammates and my coach to show me they want to win a national championship too. If I'm going to go out there with a bum shoulder and fight for them. So I don't know. Never met Jalen Lowe. I don't know what's between his ears. I don't know how bad he wants to fight for number 9. Have absolutely no clue. But he's got to consider all angles there, obviously. And I guess we're just going to kick it down the road a little bit longer. Let's move on to something more. Actually, no, one more thing from Pope. How could I miss this? Brandon Garrison. What are we doing?
What does this mean for Brandon Garrison?
Tyler, I get it. I'm sure the stats say that the guy shooting 2 for 4 from the field is somewhat efficient. I get it. But we have eyeballs. Like, of all the things to say about Brandon Garrison, I don't think the comment should be he's the second most efficient player on the team. What about everything else, Mark?
I mean, he's trying so hard to defend Brandon, and if I have to hear one more time, and I love Brandon Garrison. I talked to him last week. He's great. Akari, his son, is wonderful. Talked to him last week for a story I hope I'll be able to share with you guys at some point. But I think Pope has talked about how Brandon's passing has gotten better every single time he's asked about Brandon, and it is true. It's gotten better, but that may be the only thing that's gotten better. I don't know. The clips going around of Brandon from the Michigan State game are so bad. It's like he's barely even jumping. He's late to the ball. Like it's comically bad to the point that even if you didn't have Malachi Marino on the bench, I feel like you'd have to look at another option. And Malachi's playing really, really well. I mean, he had his fair share of mistakes, but I feel like the upside there is way better than it is with Garrison right now. I think, Goose Gibbons said it best when he's like, you've got Jaden Quaintance coming down the line. You've got Malachi playing really well. As much as you want Brandon Garrison to be playing great and to be the 5 and to, potentially back up Quaintance whenever he does play, you've got to give Malachi a shot. So I thought that maybe Pope would do that, but after listening to him today, I'm a little worried we're going to get the same starting 5 tomorrow night with Mo Diabate. Well, Mo Diabate may not play because of his ankle, but I feel like Brandon's going to be starting again. So kick the can down the road some more.
In that clip, I don't know if Steven can pull it up. I know we're all focused on Garrison. It lives in my head. Otega Owe should also be criticized. If anyone notices in the bottom left of that screen, I think his feet are glued to the floor. Steven, is that possible to pull up? I know that's a quick ask on the fly. But if not, completely understandable. But everyone go back and watch it.
I'll try to get it.
Yeah, I think Garrison obviously is the MVP. He's the star of that clip. But Owe is the supporting actor for worst performance because I think he is glued to the paint with cinder blocks around his ankles.
Those are your two biggest returners. Two biggest returners.
Two of the biggest problems. Garrison needs to be rebounding well, and he gets a lot of criticism for that. But the way Pope has him at the top of the key isn't helping him on that either. Oh, thought we had it. Watch Owe in the bottom left. Oh, no, I'm stuck. Oh, no, I cannot possibly go after that basketball.
He looks like Kenny Payne pretending to get off the bench during that Arkansas fight the other day. Like, oh, I'm coming, I promise. Oh, no.
Those are 2-year starters giving about zero effort there. But the good news is Adam Luckett is heading to Nashville where the Kentucky football Wildcats are going to give Vandy a run for their money. Y'all might even predict a win. Who knows? Was about a 9.5-point spread. Haven't checked today. It was around there yesterday. But as we joked to start the show, the excitement has flipped from basketball to football. Can't even believe I'm saying that out loud. One mark is more popular than the other this week. Can't believe I'm saying that out loud. It's the Stoops one. Luckett, where are we on the Vanderbilt excitement?
I think you got to be really excited to play in this game. The arrow's pointing up. Carter Boley's playing well. The team's playing well. This team seems like they're all in. They're all pulling on the same rope. Vanderbilt, while their offense is awesome, their defense has a lot of holes. I think it's got a chance to be a really exciting game, potentially high-scoring game. So it's a game I think people should be really excited about. And if you win this one, it kind of gives you a signature win in a weird way. You would beat a ranked team on the road, 4-game winning streak going into Louisville, where you've got some real momentum with this program right now.
A little bit of bowling. 7-5 still on the table. Maybe an 8th win in the bowl game still on the table. This sounds crazy to say out loud.
Like 6-game winning streak to end the season's on the table. 2-5 to 8-5.
That's crazy.
Tyler, you live down there in Vandy excitement. I know they've been having a fun year. I've been joking on KSR every morning. Diego Pavia doesn't even seem to be part of the team anymore. I think he's now Theo Vaughn's co-host and Cam Scadaboo's roommate. That's got to play in our hand a little bit, questioning his focus. But it is a weird time seeing Vanderbilt ranked 14th and having the year they've had. And you're down there amongst them.
Yeah, I got a lot of friends who are Vandy fans. Remy is not one of them, I promise. He's just
Remy's mad.
having, yeah. Well, the postman's here. It's like his favorite moment of the day.
Sick of Diego Pavia. Sick of this nonsense.
I'll just take him to First Bank Stadium. But it's so weird to see like my Vandy friends who are so excited. Like it's like Vandy's like new money. Like they've got their fancy renovated little stadium. They've got their college game day. They've got a top 15 ranking. They're very excited. People who I didn't even know were Vandy fans are now going to Vandy games because it's the cool thing to do, which is so weird to me. It's going to be interesting to go to that game on Saturday. I haven't been to that stadium since 2 years ago. Adam and I were there, and it was heavily under construction. Like you had to walk through Memorial Gymnasium to get there, and
remember we got locked out and had to walk all the way.
That's right. Yeah, the scoreboard was hanging from a crane. Like it's going to be interesting to see it, fully done, and the Vanderbilt fan base kind of feeling themselves. I would love nothing more than Kentucky to shut them up because it would just feel right. I feel like I've seen so many Kentucky Vandy games there where half of the stadium is Kentucky fans, if not more. So it's going to be a little different this go around. I'm really excited. I'm a little worried that Kentucky's defense is a little too banged up to hang in there, especially if Pavia gets hot. But beating Pavia on senior day and ruining Vandy's, new money celebrations and college football, dreams would be the best thing ever.
Lockett, who has to step up for that defense? That injury report was not exciting to be a Kentucky fan.
Yeah, I'm going to be very interesting to see who's available. I think you look at this matchup, Vandy's going to come out and try to throw it on them. So Kentucky's corners, obviously, going to be tested, the corners and the safeties. You look at a young guy like Cam Dooley, safety, played well last week, but obviously a different test here. So for me, it's all of them, but specifically that secondary in totality. They're going to need some of those guys to make some plays in this game.
Is Cutter Boley, can he outplay Pavia? Can that be on the table?
I definitely think it can. I think Kentucky's to get the run game going is really important to keep that Vanderbilt offense on the sideline. I think that if you can have a couple long drives here, that could really make them a little nervous. And I think the longer you stay in this game, Drew, specifically, you get this in the fourth quarter. I think there's going to be some nervous energy in that building.
The road team has won 4 straight.
Road team has won 4 straight. Vandy has not beaten Kentucky at home since 2015.
Wow.
So we're talking a decade now. Kentucky's averaging over 40 points per game in this 4-game winning streak at Vandy. Obviously, different Vanderbilt football team, but their defense has been a big issue these last few weeks. Pavia's kind of had to put the cape on and win some shootouts. So if you go, and it's not like they've done that, played a tough stretch of offenses. They played Texas and Auburn. Kentucky saw Texas and Auburn. We know what those offenses can do, or their liabilities, their limitations. So they've been got here over the last few weeks. So I think it can be a good game for Cutter Boley and this offense. If you can get that run game going, you can really put, I think, some game pressure on Vanderbilt. And then I think they could be, really nervous. I think Kentucky's potentially a dangerous team in this matchup because got a bunch of young guys. They don't really fear anything. They're just kind of letting it rip right now and playing loose. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt in the playoff rankings, they potentially have a win and get in situation next week at Tennessee. This week is really all about just get to that game, so that matters. And Kentucky's got a chance to ruin that. And so they're definitely in the spoiler spot. Vanderbilt coming off a weird late season bye. I think we could be in for potentially a shootout, and it's one of the better, I think, quarterback matchups. You look at it across the country, it's probably one of the better ones when you look at how Boley's playing and then obviously going up against Pavia.
Tyler, that could be a fun takeover of Vandy Stadium that they've done many times. Remember the Cup Snake? About 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Kentucky fan. Usually that's an away stadium. That's when the away crowd takes over. Vandy's got the excitement. It would be fun to go in there and hear the Big Blue chants again.
I know. I wonder how many Kentucky fans are going to be there. I mean, like I said, I go to this game every time it's here, and it's usually 50%, if not more, Kentucky fans. So now that Vandy's all excited, I mean, the game sold out. They said that today. So we'll see how many people are there. I just think it's crazy that we're so excited about Cutter, and he has kind of, captained the turnaround of this season when, before the season began, he wasn't even going to start. I don't want to get into the whole Calzada thing, but it's just, you can't underestimate understate, I guess is the better word, the impact that Cutter has had on this team. I mean, you could probably go as far to say that Cutter Boley saved Mark Stoops' job. I mean, he really has. And it's so fun. Like I used to earlier this season kind of dread these games, but now I'm really looking forward to them to see what Cutter's going to do. And he's really taken over that job, and he's got so much excitement. I love how it's been a couple weeks now, but with the whole, Garrett get your money thing, he did the little money dance with Calzada. I thought that was really cool. Like, that could have divided a locker room. And I think that Cutter was probably one of the reasons that it didn't. He made sure it was like a galvanizing moment instead of a dividing one. It's so cool to see him, connect with these young playmakers and Kendrick Law too. I mean, he's a senior, but it's just fun, man. And like we were talking about earlier, how could you have imagined how everything has shifted from a month ago? A month ago, we were talking about who's going to replace Mark Stoops, and Kentucky was going to win a national championship. And now we're sitting here like talking about how Kentucky's going to beat Vanderbilt to save us from our sadness. So I'm all here for it. Not to look ahead, but I really can't wait for the Governor's Cup, because it just feels like Kentucky's got the momentum right now. And wouldn't it be the perfect way to cap off this season? And what a storyline to beat Louisville. I want, obviously, a win this weekend and next, but I'm excited. I'm all in.
It's further evidence of what having a quarterback can just do, how that can just spark your entire organization and your entire fan base. We're seeing that play out a little bit. And if they go and win these next two games, he could run for governor.
Yeah,
he's the most popular athlete on campus immediately. And then if you win, if you go on a run here, then you get the hype for the offseason, because then it's the opposite of what we had last offseason, where no one knows the players, everyone knows Cutter, and everyone's kind of all in, and you can kind of build something. And so it just, when you have that, that's when you got a chance. Specifically, when you're like a program like Kentucky, when you have that, that's when you have a chance to elevate. And that's the reason, I think, ultimately, to get excited, because you can see it in pieces now, and they're starting to put it more together week by week. They legitimately feel like they've gotten better really each week, specifically offensively, really since he took over. It feels like they're adding something each week, and that's really exciting.
If they win one of the next two, we will be talking about Garrett Get Your Money Right. That will be a thing that a decade from now is still a little inside joke with Kentucky football fans, because it will have legitimately turned the corner on this season into a bowl game if they win one of the next two, which is utterly ridiculous.
Right. And like the Garrett Get Your Money Right, it also showed that they had a healthy locker room.
Yeah.
You can tell these guys like each other. Like, you can tell me covering the team, and I've had that feeling for a while, but even I think from a distance, you can just tell, like, this team really likes each other. Like, Cutter,
and they like Stoops.
Yeah.
Like,
Cutter has galvanized them in a lot of ways, and they're playing for each other. This is what it should look like when you do it right. Which is interesting when you compare it to the basketball team right now.
Yeah. Bad, man.
But then just a year ago, it was the opposite, right? The basketball team, you could tell those guys liked each other and they played for each other. In the football team, you didn't really see that. So it's good evidence, though, how quickly it can turn, specifically in this era, how you can flip that real quick.
Speaking of basketball, I'm not going to Nashville, but there's the game the night before. And, I know a few places around Nashville. I have a few inns. And I've been asking around if they're going to show the basketball game. And they're all like, no, we don't have SEC Plus. And I want to yell at them and be like, will you pay the $15, put up a sign out front, and just get rich Friday night? But none of them are doing it. I love them. Some of them are my good friends. And I'm thinking, just get the damn SEC Plus and throw it on your Instagram and profit. But I can't find anyone that's going to have the game.
So there's the official UK alumni group that meets. I didn't consider that it's on SEC Network Plus, but they do watch all the games at Beyond the Edge in East Nashville. And it's like a pretty motivated group of people that meet. So I would think they'd have it on if they can. I don't know the legality of showing SEC Network Plus. I mean, if we do it at KS Bar, then surely.
Yeah, no, they're allowed to. It's just do it. And I like East Nashville, but like people that go to, they want to be on Broadway. Yeah. Like,
they want
I
to
can't
pay
believe
$20 for a beer.
none of those places are like, oh, what a great idea. We'll do this and be the place. All of them like, no, we don't have $15 for Kentucky versus and talk like that. But I'm like, you would profit so much if you became the headquarters Friday night for basketball. So there's my complaint. And to everyone asking where you go watch the game, Tyler, do the East Nashville one again. What was it?
Beyond the Edge.
Beyond the Edge is the only one that has been confirmed. And some of you need marketing help in Nashville. Going to be a good time, though. Lucky we did that night before basketball party in Austin, and that was more fun than the football, honestly.
Yeah, everyone had a good time. I can't remember that place we were at, but it was a bunch of Kentucky fans in there. Kind of took it over. It was a good time.
It'd be so easy. Just bring everybody together, throw on your SEC Plus, and get rich.
Make
People
it
wearing
happen.
cowboy boots, drinking Lone Stars. Felt like we were in a scene of Landman.
which is new. Any of y'all Landman people? I might start
I still
tonight.
haven't watched it. Like,
It's on my list. I haven't. My father-in-law's been talking about it all week since he's been at my house about how good it is. So I think the second season just started this week.
We kind of had
I'll probably get to it once football season's over.
Yeah, we had Yellowstone fatigue after the last couple seasons of Yellowstone. Like, I had a little too much Taylor Sheridan in my life. Like, I didn't need any more of that. The last couple seasons of Yellowstone were horrible. So I've kind of been hesitant with the Landman, but I've heard it's really, really good. So I need to give it a shot. It's on the list.
I watched season 1. Yeah, I like season 1. I just haven't gotten to season 2. That might be it tonight. I recommend it if you didn't even watch season 1. I too had Yellowstone exhaustion, Tyler.
It was bad. I think they're doing spinoffs.
I didn't finish it.
You probably
shows need to learn.
Yeah,
shows go on too long. I'm glad you're wealthy and people love it, but your product ends up being bad if you try to have 14 seasons of something. Cut it off.
There's only so much Beth and Rip you can do. Like, I think they were getting a spinoff, but I think there's a spinoff coming about Casey, the other brother and I'm like, I don't think he was that interesting of a character to begin with. Does he really need his own spinoff? But yeah, crossover season's about to end, so we'll have more time for television. So
it's almost Thanksgiving time in the Bluegrass.
Woohoo!
And watch that go down to the next topic. Yeah, Thanksgiving's coming up. Lucky, you said you haven't decorated yet. I think last week I said I was going to. That might have been 2 weeks ago, and I still haven't done that yet. Tyler, have you put up any Christmas things, or are you waiting for Thanksgiving as well?
We are waiting for Thanksgiving, until after Thanksgiving. We're staunch, let Thanksgiving have its moment people. I love Thanksgiving because it's like the one holiday where outside of cooking, you don't really do anything. You just sit around and eat and hang out and watch football, and you don't have to be pressured to decorate and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm excited. I'll be up in Danville. I'll see at least Drew at the Tennessee Tech game on Wednesday. So I'll be back in Rupp Arena and then do Thanksgiving in Danville and then back to Nashville on Friday to do a happy hour and get ready for the Louisville game. So I'm looking.
Are we going to do a Friday happy hour? Is that the plan? I was going to ask.
I think we've got to. Yeah, a little Black Friday happy hour. Is Black Friday still a thing now that there's Cyber Monday? Does one of us need to go to a mall and report live? Like,
Black Friday's a whole month now. I've gotten 5 things in the last few weeks that were a Black Friday sale. It's always Black Friday once November turns. Lucky, you got the kiddos and the big family. Do you host? Do you travel? What does Thanksgiving look like you? Do you have to do like 4 different ones? How you moving around? What's it look like?
We host Christmas.
Oh, are you on turkey duty?
So my parents and then Taylor's parents stay with us because they live in Florida, so they can come see. My kids are the only grandkids, so they'll just come there.
Come see the babies.
See the boys open, and then all my siblings will come over, and we'll do Christmas. My mom does Thanksgiving, so we'll go out to they live on a farm in Springfield, so we'll go out there all day Thanksgiving. Christmas is not too split up. My family does one just like December 5th-ish. It's usually around the SEC championship game. And then my mom's side does something on Christmas Eve that we'll go to. And then that's pretty much it. I think with 3 or 4 Christmases, we'll go to one Thanksgiving. So not split. I do not envy specifically on Thanksgiving the people that have to bebop around to 3 or 4 Thanksgivings. That is it's it's not the most fun way to. You just want to be one place. You want to eat,
Yeah.
and then you want to sit and relax, and you want to eat again. And that's
And
that's
watch
how
football.
that's how I prefer to do Thanksgiving. And then we get to do that on Christmas, which is nice, just sit in one place. So
Adam, is it you that gets to choose which football games are on Thanksgiving? Who's in charge of the remote?
yeah, we usually take over.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
The Egg Bowl's on. We're not watching
Well,
movies.
Thanksgiving is easy because it's only just one game at a time. So
That's
it's
true.
like
That's
the
true.
Lions are on, then the Cowboys are on, and then this year the Bengals get to play on Thanksgiving.
Oh,
So I think I'll probably have my siblings over and we'll watch it Thanksgiving night. So definitely excited about that. Excited. Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday. Christmas is fun too, specifically with the boys now. It's, different level of excitement seeing them open Christmas presents and get to see my grandparents or their grandparents kind of enjoy it. And it's a fun time.
have you all been assigned a Thanksgiving dish or project? Like, for example, we're in charge of the broccoli casserole. We're doing a charcuterie board because it's insanely simple. And I think we're bringing wine. But other than that, those are 3 responsibilities. That's all we have to do.
Taylor does desserts and I just get out of the way.
Yeah, smart.
I've had no conversations about my Thanksgiving this year. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, but I'm usually on turkey duty. And
Ooh.
Matt G, I saw a comment, and ball, Mr. Spatchcock. Where'd it go? I saw it. I spatchcocked the turkey last year. Pro tip, if anyone's on turkey duty, it's where you flat. Now, it doesn't look good on Instagram for people that like the big traditional look. But Matt G, you told on yourself. Turkey ball. I saw that. Have any of y'all had to do the turkey before? Because I got good at it. In fact, last year was quite delicious, if I may pat myself on the back. But that first year, I was a nervous wreck because I had just Googled a recipe and it was all on me. And, at 6 o'clock, everyone's at the table and I'm like, well, here we go. Let's see how I did. Luckily, it was all right. But it is a pressure I don't welcome on a holiday.
My family knows better than to ask me to cook. So I kind of stay out of the way on that. We do like to deep fry the turkey, which is always like it's a bit of entertainment too, so that's always fun. And actually, I like the way the turkey tastes better when it's deep fried. So
yeah, absolutely. My dad handles all that on Thanksgiving. So, but yeah, it is the deep fried turkey is good.
I live too close to my neighbors to deep fry. I could see myself taking down 6 or 7 houses with one mistake. I smoked mine the last 2 years. Pretty good, a little different flavor. Highly recommend a brine also if anyone out there is getting into turkey. Leave aside what you're cooking. Every show, every radio station since the beginning of time has done this. But what are your sides? Everybody, throw them out there. What side items are you going to first? Or maybe it's the turkey. It doesn't have to be a side. Build your Thanksgiving plate without listing 9 things. What are your favorites?
We do stuffing balls, which is basically just stuffing made into a ball. And it's awesome because it's got sausage in it. Oh, they're so good. That's my favorite. Like I could just have that and be happy. So stuffing balls, maybe some broccoli casserole, partly because Olive made it and I feel like I have to eat the stuff that I make or it'll look weird. If there's mac and cheese on the table, I'll have that.
That's my everyday rule. If there's mac and cheese on the table.
Yeah. There was some great mac and cheese at the On 3 Thanksgiving today, by the way. Shout out to Judge Beans. Very good.
I will eat an uncomfortable amount of mashed potatoes. First Thanksgiving, my wife Taylor went to with me. She was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing? Stop. And I was like, "What? This is what I do. This is." And my mom was like, "No, it's fine, Taylor. It's the bowl's just for him. Like we had a bunch of bowls, but that one's for him."
He gets his own bowl.
Yeah. So uncomfortable amount of mashed potatoes, obviously mac and cheese, corn, green beans, good amount of turkey too.
Is it just on Thanksgiving that you do that?
Yeah, just that much. Yes. Dark meat
Love
turkey.
Oh yeah, I like white meat. Yeah. Although dark turkey, that's where the flavor is. I know that, but
I put an unhealthy amount of starches on all 4 of my trips to the line. It's like corn pudding with mashed potatoes, with macaroni and cheese, with another form of corn, with a roll, with another form of bread. I sometimes I forget there's a green thing in the house. Sometimes I forget there's turkey, and I do it every year and can't get enough of it. I make myself absolutely miserable as I go to lay down and watch the Cowboys lose a football game.
Yeah, we eat early. One of my favorite things to do is later in the evening.
Yeah.
Go and make a turkey sandwich on toast.
Nice.
That's the best. Yeah.
Turkey sandwiches are the best. Thanksgiving
Yeah.
turkey sandwiches. It's like another level. We've got Crawford Eifland, KSR photographer, in the chat. Says that his favorite is pie, and they're having 16 pies this year at their Thanksgiving. The family tradition is 1 pie per person plus 1.
Oh my goodness!
A lot of
How do
pie.
you have a jawline, Crawford? Speaking of Crawford, I think I've messaged you before to compliment you, but you're killing it on the photo stuff, Crawford.
Absolutely.
Thank you for everything you've done. For all of you that haven't seen Crawford's photos, he's been rotating in for us for football and basketball. Really incredible stuff. Very talented. And then your whole AI thing blows my mind. But shout out to you, Crawford. Do you all have any like Thanksgiving traditions that are unique? I mean, we all eat mashed potatoes and watch football, but does your family do anything that you would consider a little different?
Me and my wife are running a 5-mile race.
Yeah. Is that the same one that Roush is doing?
Yeah.
He's doing a turkey trot too. We usually do that, but we're going to be in Danville this year. But that's awesome. And then if it makes you feel a little less bad about having your own bowl of mashed potatoes.
That's what I told her. I was like, do you want to do this? I was like, honestly, it'll probably feel good because we could just go and just eat a pound of mashed potatoes. Not feel bad about it. So we're doing that in the morning. First the first 2 miles are apparently straight up a hill. So I'm a little worried about that. So getting through that, I think we'll be fine. But that'll be the hard part, the start.
Just picture a bowl of mashed potatoes at the top of the hill.
So that's different. We used to have partake and have some drinks on Wednesday. Won't be doing that this year. We'll be resting up for our big race Thursday morning.
Yeah. I think we watched the National Dog Show. It comes on after the Macy's Day Parade. So I guess that's as close to a tradition. We also have whiskey sours. That's the big family drink. My dad used to make them, and it's not like a mix or anything. You just have to juice the lemons. Like dozens and dozens of lemons. And when I was growing up, I would be put in charge of juicing the lemons. So I have very, I don't know if I would call them fond memories, but memories of being there, standing up on a stool on the counter, juicing lemons all morning. So yeah, whiskey sours and the National Dog Show.
I don't need the dog show, but I'll help you with those whiskey sours if you ever need it.
They're good. They're good stuff. What about you? I guess the Cowboys.
The Cowboys, that's been a big part since I was little. I have memories of all the Thanksgiving days going back to my uncle's. Remember those big box TVs?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. They're
the kind of big ones. I mean, the
pounds.
gigantic ones that you took 4 people to roll. It's always been the Cowboys in my family. We don't do anything too crazy. There'd be years we'd play a few games, but that didn't last. But it's mostly just eat until you're in a coma. I have a very small family, especially since my parents moved to Lexington. We kind of keep it small here, but I'm pretty much just give me all the starches. One year, it was actually the first year I took my wife to our family Thanksgiving. My cousins have a hunting cabin way out in the middle of nowhere, Western Kentucky. I don't even think this area has a town. When you're just driving and there's nothing and there's trees and it's like, well, who would own all that in the middle of nowhere? That's where my cousins have a hunting farm, and they had a camo couch. And it was I say this with love, it was the most redneck thing imaginable. My little cousin, who's maybe 5 years old, holds up a deer straight from the taxidermist. And Abby looks at me like she's from Northern Ohio. What in the hell have you brought me into? But she's still here. Also on the turkey trot thing, I married into a turkey trot family. Abby's family has been 5K in for Thanksgiving forever. The moment I got in the family, that tradition ended. There was never a conversation. I think they just saw me and they're like, well, he's not going to do it, so we'll just not do this anymore. But I was almost like you, Luckett. I almost was 5K in my way around, but somehow I dodged that bullet just on first impressions here.
They read the room, so to speak.
Yeah, so thank you. That would not have been fun. Let's get some KS board questions. Ta-da. CFE, one of our regulars. What bourbon are we drinking this week/weekend to kill the pain of our basketball and football programs performing? Well, it'll be a celebratory bourbon for football. If you hadn't heard, we're pretty good. Basketball might be some sadness. Tyler, you just mentioned your bourbon concoction. Do you have a go-to juice you like to put in that?
I mean, because it's mixed with so many other things, you don't have to use something fancy. But I guess in terms of just normal bourbons, like Kentucky Owl, I got to give them a shout out because I know the founders. So that's my go-to. I'm not a big bourbon person. I know as a Kentucky native, that probably gets my Kentucky card revoked, but it's something I haven't gotten into. I don't know. Maybe as I get older, I will. But for me, it's just beer or wine. So
What kind of beer, Tyler?
Country Boy, glad you asked. Delicious. Halfway home today. We're halfway home to Thanksgiving, maybe.
I don't know if I showed mine. I'm a month after Oktoberfest. Still enjoying Oktoberfest. Lucky, do you dabble in the bourbon, or you just give me the tallest, coldest Rooster's beer?
Typically beer. I'll have maybe 3 to 4 bourbons per year.
Good for
After
you.
Yeah.
I had 3 or 4 after watching us lose to Louisville.
Who could blame you?
It's usually like, well, if you do a nice dinner or something like that, I'll partake.
I like. Obviously, I'm a whiskey thief guy. By the way, I have a bourbon that's going to come out. It was supposed to come out like 2 years ago. There's some of them up there. They exist. I swear we're going to finish.
You have your own bourbon? Like,
yeah,
is
we
your
picked it
face
on the air.
label?
Like we picked it on the air like 2.5 summers ago. Rolled the bottle out, made a label, and it's just sitting there collecting dust. Would you all like to see one?
Sure. Speaking of bourbon, I was at On3 today, and one of our coworkers was talking about he had just visited Jim Beam, and he was raving about the Jim Beam distillery. So I have not been to Jim Beam in a long time. I've done a couple bourbon distilleries in the past couple of years, but Jim Beam was not one of them. But it's good to hear it's getting good reviews from the people here in Nashville.
Funny you bring that up. I would like to pay the Jim Beam Distillery a compliment. Their restaurant there, I think it might just be called The Kitchen. Maybe not. Figure out what it's called. That's not the name. It is amazing. Like, go for the bourbon, go for the tours. People are always asking which place to go see, this and that. Jim Beam, it's not my favorite tour, but that restaurant there is incredible. So yeah, I second whoever told you that. Whiskey Thief's got a good tour. I'm not just saying that because they sponsor KSR, but the actual thieving process that we talk about on the show, they're the only one that does that. It's really cool to just walk in a distillery and they're like, all right, go in the barrel and help yourself. No one else does that. So that's pretty neat too.
Feels like that would get really messy. Like,
it does.
People
Ryan Lemon waste. They actually built a filter. I think it's 3D funnel. I think it's 3D printed. They had it at the last remote we did. Because when Ryan thieves his own, so much of it ends up on the floor. I'm not exaggerating. Like an entire fifth ends up on the ground. So they built a contraption just for Ryan. But yes, to answer, they do lose a lot from people doing that. But it's just so unique to go in and make your own.
Yeah, definitely. Adam, you were about to say something.
Yeah, Maker's Tour wasn't my favorite tour, but like going and being able to dip your bottle.
That is cool.
Made it worth it. We've got one around here somewhere that Taylor ended up dipping. Buffalo Trace, they had a really good tour, I thought, and they had a cool like gift shop with a bunch of stuff. So those were 2 of my favorites that I think I've been to like 4 or 5.
I always send people to Buffalo Trace over the others. I mean,
Buffalo
the
Trace
Makers things,
the best one.
Some of them, they all try to be different. Some of them, I feel like they're trying to be Disney World. Like, we don't need lights in these hotels. Yeah. Like, I want to feel like I'm getting gritty.
The Makers was trying to show me the art and the around the property. I'm like, I don't care about that.
Just give me the bourbon.
And that's nice. It's nice, but I'm on a bourbon tour. Buffalo Trace, they're kind of like, hey man, get to work. Like, get back here. Sorry, there's dust everywhere, but get in here. Some of the other ones, they fancied up a little too much. Except Jim Beam. Try that restaurant, whatever it's called. What's the next topic? Ooh. My favorite name on KS Board, Nick Calzada, Will Wolford, a little KSR shout out there. Do you budget for Christmas or Hanukkah presents? Shout out Jacob. And what is on your Christmas or Hanukkah wish list?
This is a good conversation because do you all still do Christmas gifts for your family? And if so, do you have a budget?
We do the thing with my family where we each draw a name in $100 limit.
That's a good idea. Like,
so it's a good gifts, but not anything crazy.
Yeah.
And so that's what we do. And then we get the boys, and then we'll get our parents something typically.
Yeah. I feel like parents and, kids, in my case, nephews, like, definitely give them something. But with my siblings, it's like I'm always struggling to figure out what to get them. I don't know what they're getting me. It's like, and I hope maybe they're watching and this will prompt a fun family conversation. But can we just agree, either let's not do gifts because we all have as much as we need or could ever want, or let's set a limit of $25-50. And then I don't know. It's gotten to be, I'm old enough where it feels kind of weird.
My family's still figuring this out. We try a different game every year, and they were like, that didn't really work. I think we're even going to try something new this year. Last year, we did it. I can't remember the limit, 50, 100, whatever standard stuff. But like whoever you were buying for through a draw, the gift had to start with the first letter of their name. So like, Tyler, if I'm shopping for you, and you could get pretty flexible with it. It wasn't like, no, that doesn't start with a T. You could get creative. But it added another angle. But then at the end of the night, I think if we're all being honest, we're like, what am I going to do with this? So I think we're going to go back to the drawing board this year. Not to be ungrateful, but we keep trying new games every year, and not one of them had stuck. But we're still efforting. If anyone in the comment section has a tip, there's all the white elephants, all the games, but we're still trying to figure ours out.
Yeah, and then with my husband, it's like we get each other gifts, but we have friends who they don't give each other gifts. Like they significant others don't give each other gifts because they don't need anything and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, my husband and I still give each other gifts. Like we're superficial enough. It's like, I want some gifts on Christmas. Like, come on. So I wish I were, high and mighty enough to not need gifts and all that. But come on, it's Christmas. I want something.
My wife likes to buy them on like Halloween. So she's like, you get my gift yet? I'm like, Taylor, it's November 10th. Like, I'll get your gift. Just give me some time.
I will say we plan our Christmas shopping around Black Friday. We're mentioning that. Like I have a list just waiting for certain stuff, and I will try to knock it out. Doesn't always work that way. I'm still shopping on December 23rd a lot of years, but I try to take advantage of the November deals if I have a pretty good idea of what's going on.
How heavily do you all hint at what you want?
We just kind of tell each other.
We've gotten to that point.
We've got a short list, so you have a pretty good idea.
Like I thought about, should I just accidentally airdrop a link to something I want to my husband and be like, oh, whoops, I didn't mean to send you that, but you never know. Yeah. When you've been married 10 plus years, it's whatever.
Yeah. I
have a notes app in my phone. If Taylor say, I would like this, then I just pick from that.
Oh, you
That's
mean
the way to do it?
You mean one called Christmas Gifts, and then it just lists them all right here?
Mine is gift ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, I have each person's name, and as something pops in my head, I mean, it'll be July. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Throw it in my note.
Having a shared note for that is just the next level. Just Taylor, just drop that link in the shared note.
I'm pretty sure she did that. I think we do have a shared note.
I love that.
It's better than faking it and be like, oh yeah, this is definitely what I wanted. I love you. No, let's just
make sure we both have a happy Christmas.
Yeah. Same team here. Let's just get what we need. What's next, Steven? Wildcat Larry, do you all think Vandy can sustain the level of play that they are currently displaying? Luck, I'll let you start there.
Only 2 games left, so I think their offense is not going to slow down. It's just defense. Can they get enough stops to win these last 2 games?
I'm going to spin that question a little bit because I wonder this. Did they catch lightning in a bottle with Pavia, or can Clark Lee maintain this? Maybe not playoff conversation.
I'm skeptical. I'm highly skeptical.
Too. I know he's a Vandy guy, but if I were him, I would have been looking around like, how can I get out of here and just make people think that that's what I was at Vandy before he gets back to what they really are? Because I lean towards they got not necessarily lucky because they went out and got him and Jerry Kroll. They knew what they were doing, but I don't know if there's a lot more Pavias lined up for Vandy's future.
Right. How high is his wins above the replacement number? We'll find out, I think, next year. But I'm skeptical. Yeah.
Well, I think there was a comment on KS Board, maybe in this thread, that it was like, can you explain how Vandy is so much better than Kentucky when they have similar resources, or Kentucky's supposed to have better resources? And is it really just Pavia, or I don't know, like once he's gone, I guess we just answered that. Maybe it'll go back to the norm, but.
Like I said earlier, when you got a quarterback with some juice, it lifts everybody.
Yeah. Pavia, it was Pavia in a system he had played in. They brought the whole brain trust there to Nashville, and like it kind of, and just his, like, you listen to people he just it was him who turned everything around. Like he made them all believers, and he kind of flipped it. And then they've hit another level this year with him. But it's year 4 in a system, he's kind of taken off. Does the system work as well without the trigger man? That's what we're gonna find out next year. But they still got him for at least 2 more games, and so they're hard to stop right now, and they're a handful to deal with.
Let's see. We got a couple more. What's next, Steven?
Oh.
From the Kite Man. What would you do if you were invisible for a day? And if you had to be haunted by a ghost, what celebrity would you want it to be? I guess those are 2 different ones. I'm going to start with the ghost celebrity because I need to think on the invisible one. I would love nothing more than for Chris Farley to be in the room with me, messing with me at all times.
That would be fun.
No celebrity death has hit me harder than Chris Farley. I remember exactly where I was sitting. I remember the people sitting around me. I know what time of day it was, what class I was in. I was in 7th grade. That wrecked me. I was a huge Chris Farley fan. So if Chris Farley could just haunt me at all hours of the day, I don't know that I could be happier.
That's a good one. This one probably hits too close to home, but Jared Lorenzen, I mean, after seeing that clip going around from the Kelsey Brothers podcast of him and them raving about him, it just made me really miss Jared. And especially the podcast we had him on, the football podcast. Like, what I wouldn't give for another 2-hour random Freddie and Jared football podcast where Jared just starts talking about conspiracy theories and how, man didn't really walk on the moon and all that. Like, those were good times. But if another real, like, bigger celebrity, maybe somebody with a ton of money that throws great parties, because that would be fun. If Jay Gatsby were a real person and not a fictional character.
Yeah.
Ryan and I dropped the ball when we interviewed Tate Lorenzen and didn't ask him about the moon landing. That one still keeps me up at night. I should have done that. I saw Tate at the Florida game, by the way. He says hello.
Yeah, if Biff Tannen was a real person and he had that sports almanac, could he just tell me, hey, what's the Celtics here tonight?
It'd be helpful.
The invisible one's tricky, though.
Yeah.
No. Go into the UK locker room and see what really happens. I after the past couple weeks.
This is one of the questions I wouldn't trust with Ryan Lemon on KSR.
No.
Invisible for a day. I don't know what I would do. Yeah, you're right, Tyler. I kind of want to just see what the hell's going on with our basketball team at the moment. That would probably be my answer. Or
see what the drama is.
Yeah, or go get the script from the NFL and make my gambling picks on Sunday.
That too.
Go see what these committees, whether it's the NCAA tournament or the college football, see what they really do. They show us the camera. I don't, what is that? Are you really just sitting around? What are they doing? I would like to know that.
Captain Crash 21 says Norm Macdonald, Johnny Cash, and Robin Williams for the ghost. Norm's right up there with Chris Farley for me. Norm's right there. That's a close second for my answer. Also, they're doing Judd Apatow is doing a Norm documentary coming out next year. Can't wait for that. Big fan of that. Any more in the comments section? Someone says something about Mark Stoops loving Pope's noise.
Steven is sad we didn't say Patrick Swayze for Ghost.
It's true. Could do some pottery. What's next?
Actually, that was it.
I thought we had one more.
There was one. There was. Do any of you have a Thanksgiving movie you watch this time of year?
Yeah, that's part of the Thanksgiving.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is the only one that comes to mind as like a Thanksgiving movie. The Family Stone. No, that's Christmas. I don't know. It feels like on Thanksgiving night, it's like just put Christmas Vacation on. Like,
yeah.
That's the answer. This is the time of year where I flip the switch. There's a lot of talk of flipping the switch too early here lately.
Don't do it too early.
No, I flipped the Christmas Vacation switch. It's already played once in the background. It's streaming. If it's streaming, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch a scary movie. The Bengals defense versus Lamar Jackson. On Thanksgiving night. That's what I'll be watching.
You really meant a scary movie for once. I was like, that's the wrong holiday luck hit.
Well,
yeah.
This isn't one of our topics, but before we go, what's your boy Jamar Chase doing? And I love Jamar Chase, but I mean, come on now.
Just got the emotions got the best of him. Jalen Ramsey knows how to get under the skin.
For me, it's not even the act of spitting. It's continuing to deny it when I know he's seen the video that we all see where he, makes the spitting motion with his mouth. We see it and then see Jalen Ramsey turn, yet he still tells us he didn't do it.
How that guy got that shot is really impressive.
Yeah.
Like that guy, he's sitting on the end zone. They weren't near the end zone. Like he had to be zoomed, and it's clear. Like how he got that shot is impressive.
Yeah, Chase rolled the dice thinking, "Oh, main broadcast didn't get that." Then he gets to his locker, picks up his phone. He's like, "God damn it, who had that angle?" Congrats on Burrow, though. That'll be fun. Is there any life left on the playoff push? There's still time. Aaron Rodgers, he's falling apart. Mason Rudolph's starting this week.
Probably not, but we'll see if they can win a couple games and hang around for a little bit.
What about our team, Tyler? Are we going to make a playoff push?
The Bills? We're Bills fans now, right?
The real team.
Maybe we'll get the number 1 pick. I don't know. I will say I drove by the stadium today. It's big. They finished the ring that's going to hold the roof. So it's cool. It's like got a facade on parts of it now. So it's starting to look like a real stadium and not just this crazy shell. So it's coming together.
When does it open? Do they have a date?
2027, right?
So one more football season after this one.
Yeah.
If only they had a real team to put in it, we'd be in business.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe we'll have a real legit team by the time it's done, but I don't think we will. I don't think miracles work like that. So
no, and it wasn't fun watching a guy named Cam Ward beat up our basketball team Tuesday for Michigan State either.
No.
It hit a little too close to home.
Yeah. The sports misery all the way around is it's a little too much happening right now. That's why we're going to go get a W at Vandy. We're going to beat Loyola tomorrow night, and we'll keep doing KSR things. It was fun on this happy hour presented by Country Boy Brewing and our friends at LG&E and KU. I guess the next time we'll have something on YouTube, maybe a little walk and talk before the basketball game tomorrow, then a rapid reaction, then running back on Sunday with football. So we're not going anywhere. It's still doubleheader season, and we need some good news. So let's have a big weekend. Tyler and Adam and Steven behind the camera, appreciate you all sitting here and yapping with me. Always a good time.
Go Cats.
Go Cats.